Hey, hey, this is Jen.
And Jaclyn, and welcome to
The Spin Cycle.
As always, make sure you follow us on social at Spin Cycle Pod and subscribe to the Spin Cycle YouTube channel.
Let's get this started.
Let's go.
Hi, Jaclyn.
Hi, Jen.
How's it going?
Good. How's it going with you?
Good. How was your day?
It's good. Super Bowl ride was a lot of fun.
That was so much fun. We had a great time. Jaclyn and I rode together this morning in Annapolis. I was an Eagles fan today.
Well, you were dressed in your Eagles gear.
That's right.
She had an Eagles baseball cap and shirt. What'd your shirt say? Do you remember?
It's a Philly thing. Didn't you read it?
No, you weren't wearing it for the ride.
No. I had all my green on. So I don't know if you know, I'm from outside of Philadelphia. I grew up south of Philly. So I'm, a Philly fan at heart. My mom and dad are big Philly fans in all the sports. So I grew up that way. That's why I waver. I'm a Commanders fan, sometimes a Ravens fan, and sometimes an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
Yeah.
I am not rooting for the Eagles.
No, I know.
Yeah. I had on this bedazzled top that I made for my birthday, actually, because it was Taylor Swift themed. So Taylor Swift and I were both born in 1989. So,
yeah,
that was basically best friend.
That was the year before I graduated high school. 1990.
Oh my God.
So yeah. But little fun fact, Taylor's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
She grew up on a Christmas tree farm. This, of course. So did I.
Oh.
We had a Christmas tree farm.
What?
Growing up. Yeah. We didn't sell very many trees. We sold about 30 a year for a course of maybe 5 years. But we planted them as real small.
Yeah.
And then we started selling them. I guess I was in high school when we started selling them.
That's really cool.
So I'm kind of just like Taylor Swift.
Yeah. So tonight I'm definitely rooting for Taylor's boyfriend.
I think you were hoping maybe she makes a surprise appearance.
Yeah, Bad Blood with Kendrick Lamar during the halftime show this morning.
Is that a bet? Can we bet that? Maybe we can bet on that.
There's no, I don't. If that happens, I'm gonna go into cardiac arrest.
The defibrillator.
I mean, geez, that would be insane. But I don't think that would be a good business decision of Kendrick Lamar because she's just gonna steal the show. Truly.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath. So that was fun. It was a great day, great morning this morning.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And we had a good week last week.
Mm-hmm.
You had your red ride. Speaking of Taylor.
Yeah, red versus rep. I rode with Jordan up in Baltimore.
Yeah, that looked really fun.
It was.
Yeah.
It was really good. I just put all of our remix songs that we used up on Instagram.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
I thought it'd be fun to celebrate how it's basically just a Swiftie bowl today.
Yeah.
For most.
For you. For most people?
I feel most
I don't know about most.
Well, my algorithm on Instagram is literally just all Taylor Swift. So I feel like the rest of the world really cares about Taylor Swift, even though that's not the case. It's just my algorithm. So
that's right. Because it's not like that on my algorithm. Although I have to say Tribe Cycles is kind of my Instagram, and it happens to be a lot of Taylor Swift on there. That's because you're in charge of that.
Sorry.
So yeah. Oh. So gosh, where should we start? So I think we should start with why we're wearing these sweatsuits today.
Okay.
Do you like them?
Oh, are you joking? I love them.
So
if you can't see, we just shared on our Instagram. So by the time you guys are watching this, you will see the photo that we put up on our story.
So it came across this brand, and I really like it. My two nieces, I've got three nieces, but two of them are college age, and were chatting with me this week, and they were like, "Oh my God, Jen, have you heard of this new sweatsuit? It's really popular. It's all over Instagram." I was like, I've never heard of it. So of course I assume Jaclyn knows about it because she's on Instagram all the time, and she hadn't heard of it. So I was so excited. I immediately purchased them, and I got her one and I got myself one, and it's called COMFRT. And I love the brand. I have to say, I love what the brand stands for. It's all about mental health and awareness. So that's their shtick, sort of. So I give them a lot of kudos about this brand. So it's really cozy, and the idea is that it's weighted. It's a little bit weighted, a little heavier than in your normal sweatsuit. So we got the pants and the top. So it's a whole set.
You guys, they're so great. The pockets in the sweatpants are so deep. Like, I can fit so many things in these.
I mean, they are really deep. I had like 3 lipsticks in my pocket a second. Well, I was just picking them up as I went around my house, picking up things. So, their goal is to kind of help you feel like this is like a warm hug or a warm blanket, and it's like you're supported and to keep you grounded, which I do love the idea of that. So I know a lot of people suffer with mental illness. If this is something that would make them feel better, I think good for them. And you know what they do, Jaclyn, is they give back money to 4 different charities, which is really cool.
That is really cool. Are they like, what charities are they?
So I wrote them down because I knew you were going to ask me that, and I wanted to make sure I didn't mess that up. So it's Active Minds is one of them, the JED Foundation, and we'll put these on our Instagram, right? Anxiety and Depression Association of America, and the National Alliance for Mental Illness, NAMI, NAMI. So those are the 4 charities that they give to. So they're giving a bit of their proceeds back, which, I know that that's a big thing at Tribe for us. We love to give back to charities, and almost every month we try to give something back or have a charity ride or an awareness ride somewhere along the way. So I love that this company is doing that. And I love that it's taking off. So Jaclyn, you never heard of it, huh?
No, I hadn't. And then I tell you what, right after you had sent me the information about this stuff, a client walks into Tribe.
Oh, wow.
One of the sweatshirts.
Oh, my gosh.
I was like, wait a second. How did I not know about this? And now all of a sudden I'm seeing them everywhere. And of course, now it's taken over my Instagram.
Your algorithm, yeah.
Algorithms. So, there are so many different things that you can do for your mental health. And one of them is writing a Tribe. We have so many people that come up to us after class and talk about what that specific class or just Tribe in general, what it's done for their mental health. But, you can also wear one of these guys.
So what do you do? I mean, other than wearing your suit now, what kind of keeps you positive? I'm sure people want to know because I think everybody knows that you're always happy and you seem to always be smiley. Is there anything that you do at home or maybe any kind of practice that you do that kind of keep yourself positive during the day or the week?
Yeah, there's a couple of different things. So one we kind of touched on during our very first podcast when you were talking about watching the Today Show, and you made a comment. You were like, you should really watch the news. And I said no. And a few folks did catch on to that. So one thing that I don't do to stay positive and happy is I don't watch the news. I'm very
smart.
Very strategic with what I choose to consume, both on television and on social media. And I think that that's really important. I think that now more than ever, it's just really easy to compare ourselves in all areas of our lives.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of like crummy news out there. I mean, I have to say, I like to keep sort of up with what's happening. That part of the news is a little bit of a
and it just
downer.
I just want to be happy. I want to be positive. I feel like it's a part of my job is to be happy and positive. I was thinking the other day, I just had so much going on, and something that I think that we should talk about in the future is what it's like being a fitness professional who constantly has to be on for other people. And they're taking care of these other people and they're motivating them and inspiring them. But what's motivating and inspiring the fitness professional that may be going through something?
Yeah.
And what is it that they're consuming? And I mean, to go back to your original question, my morning routine, every morning I read 10 pages from a personal development book.
Yeah.
And I don't watch the news. And I just surround myself with people that make me feel really happy.
Yeah. I just started doing a little bit more of that and not reading necessarily, not that I'm opposed to reading, because I do love reading. It's a matter of finding the time. So I really sort of gravitated to Audible, which is books on tape. So when I'm driving to Baltimore and back, if I'm not listening to my playlist, I would put on either a podcast more recently, but Audible books on tape. And it's great. And there's some great things you can just like listen to when you're in the car by yourself and just kind of to get yourself
I think that's
inspired.
That's just another way, another avenue of just consuming the material if you don't have time to read it.
For sure. Yeah.
There's just something about flipping the page in a book.
Well, also I have to say, working out is such a great way to, feed yourself.
Without a doubt.
And I have to tell you, there's one thing that has been the most inspiring to me being a business owner here at Tribe, being an instructor at Tribe, is that I've had so many people come up to me over these past 6 years and pull me aside and just say thank you and how much this has, quote unquote, saved their life. And I don't mean literally, and maybe some people meant literally, but I think they just meant that it was a void of something they needed. And they came in and they found friendship, they found family, they found inspiration, and the list goes on. So I think we got some calls on our voicemail.
We did. Yes, we did. We have quite a few. So instead of going through them all, I figured I would just pick one out of random.
Well, we've got two, right?
Well, we have two, but one kind of ties into like a pop culture piece that we want.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. You're right.
So we're already going to talk about the Grammys because the Grammys just happened and we were really excited about them last week. So we're going to do a little Grammys recap. But first, we want to do one of these speak pipe voicemails. All right. So here is one of the voicemails that we got.
Okay.
What advice do you have for someone who really wants to be an instructor, has wanted to be an instructor for, dare I say, years? Before I came to Tribe Cycle, I went to another well-known, now closed studio. What advice do you have for somebody who really wants to be an instructor but is scared of taking that leap as an introverted person? I have taken almost 400 classes at Tribe, but it's almost like I have stage fright. Not a lot of people bring that Jaclyn energy or that Jen energy. So what do you say to people like me?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I when I heard this voicemail, I was like, oh my gosh. And I love this person. I know who this person is. She told us who it was. And I'm so excited that she is interested. And I this is my advice. Anybody can do this. And well, maybe not anybody, but most people can do it. If you really want something bad enough, like they always tell you, you just got to try. And you might not make it the first time, the second time, even the third time. I've had some instructors audition multiple times. And, sometimes it's all about timing. I do think it's about sticking to it. If it's something you really want, it's about riding. And the bit of advice that I got, and I'm not sure how you think, but is if you really want to be an instructor, you got to ride a lot. Ride. And if you're going to be an instructor at Tribe, I definitely recommend riding at Tribe and getting to know our lingo, getting to know the instructors, getting to know the front desk staff, and doing a bunch of that will bring on sort of, what we're all about. I would definitely talk to all the instructors at Tribe and see what their thoughts are. And I know there are a couple of instructors that are currently on our staff who were told, no, not yet.
Yeah.
And that was just timing.
Yeah. For me, tying this back into mental health and mindset, if you are thinking that you really want to be an instructor, first off, you got to go all in for something. Like if you are saying that you want to do something, like just go for it. Just do it. If you start off with, well, I'm so introverted, like the more that you speak, like the words that you speak to yourself, the more that you speak those words, the more that you're going to believe them.
Like if you say, oh, I'm not really good at that, then you're not going to be good at it.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and it's as simple as putting the word yet at the end.
Right.
I'm not good at that yet. And this was something my Taekwondo instructor told me a long time ago.
Taekwondo.
Yeah. Karate. So, and that's a whole nother story. But yeah, he told me, you know, he would always finish my sentence by saying, yet. For example, my son was like, hey, Mom, do you think you'll ever get your black belt? I was like, oh, gosh, I don't know. I'm not sure. And I mean, maybe someday I will. And I'm like, I've got a lot of belts to get there. And he's like, yeah, you're going to get there. He's like, of course you will. I'm like, well, I don't know. And it was one of those conversations where, you know, he's like, of course you will. Like, why wouldn't you? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I really didn't think about it that far. And he's like, you're just not there yet. And I was like, yeah, I'm not there yet. And in that moment, I was like, oh my God, can I actually get my black belt? Like, it was one of those like aha moments, because you're like, I didn't ever think of it because it was kind of far off. Like, it took 15 years, but it was one of those moments where I was like, oh, maybe I can.
Yeah.
And I sort of dug my heels in. Then all of a sudden was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And, you know, just kept going. And it took a long time, but you eventually got there. And he was right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. I think there are a lot of things you can do to bring that energy. And I don't think you realize you have that energy when you might have that energy.
Right.
I think it's just a matter of getting in there, getting comfortable, having all the tools at your disposal, and then all of a sudden just letting go of any inhibitions and going for it.
Yeah.
And being larger than life and feeling the vibe and just letting it happen.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So you just got to let go of inhibitions and just, you know, don't worry.
Yeah. It also doesn't hurt. Like, if there's something that you've been wanting to try, just go for it. And if it's not meant for you, then it's not meant for you. But if you try it and then it does wind up being for you, then
yeah,
then you'll know that.
I agree. If it doesn't work out, doesn't mean that you're not going to find your place somewhere else either. You know, I think we've both been told no plenty of times on a lot of things, and you just change your course slightly. Maybe it's something else that's you need to focus on. That's a great question, though. I'm glad that she reached out.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sure I'll talk to her in the studio next time I see her. So I'm excited about our next question.
All right. So the next question ties into something that we already want to talk about, the Grammys. And what are your best and worst Grammy looks?
So yeah, I have a lot of questions for you because I'm curious what you thought.
Okay.
All right. So I think that's a great question. What's your best and worst? What were your best and worst looks of the night?
Best and worst looks?
Oh, what was the question?
Well, that was it. But I also have like best and worst, like overall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start here then. What was your favorite part?
My favorite part?
Yeah, of the whole thing.
My favorite part was Taylor Swift walking out to deliver the award to Beyonce when she walked out to
Did you
so high school.
Stood kind of funny?
No, she stood perfect. She stood with her thigh out, and her thigh had that like chain on it that was for Travis. There are actually what I really I know. Yeah, that's exactly how most people, they're like really like Taylor's name starts with a T. But if you know Taylor, she wrote in Guilty as Sin, he writes on my upper thigh. He was writing mine on his upper thigh. He writes mine.
Yeah.
Something about her upper thigh.
You played it for me, so I think that's what it was.
Yes. But anyway.
You think that was the best part? Yeah, that's fine. You're allowed to have whatever you like.
Yes, that was the best part.
All right. Well, my favorite part of the entire show was the montage of all the best new artists. I think every single best new artist killed it, especially Benson Boone.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that guy, now I've seen this kind of him perform this song before, and he did those flips, but he's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, what a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just so cute.
When Nikki Glaser and Heidi Klum ripped off his
yes.
Ticket. I was like,
Heidi Klum like couldn't get the little off.
I know. She kind of like ruined it a little bit, but
he he's really given like Freddie Mercury vibe,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So I love that. I just think he comes across like just such a cool guy.
I agree.
And I think he did awesome. I loved every bit of that. But I loved every new artist. I have to tell you, Doechii was another one for me who I've played in my past 3 classes, a different song, but each time. But I think I didn't even know who she was.
Yeah.
And I think she's giving, if I'm going to use this term again, salt and pepper vibes, like old school rap vibes, which I liked.
I thought that her acceptance speech for Best Rap Album,
Good. Yeah.
I really, that was probably one of the most moving parts
Yeah,
of the,
I
it
agree.
was just very inspirational. Just talking about always being yourself and that nothing is impossible, and really talking to little girls out there.
Yeah, that was cool.
I really, really liked that.
That was great. Okay, so what was your favorite outfit? Let me guess. No, you could tell me.
It was Taylor Swift's outfit, Jen.
With the chain. So I've heard like a lot of people saying that people should be selling like thigh jewelry to really.
Duh.
So
Okay.
that was your favorite dress? Yeah. You know who I loved?
Who?
Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh.
She had a black dress on. It
Yeah.
was kind of cut out.
Yeah.
I thought she looked stunning.
Yeah.
I really thought she was beautiful. So she was my standout. What about least? I think we have the same because we talked about this earlier today. One of our leasts.
Yeah, I'm not even too sure who it is, but he has
Yes,
like
I
a
think-
house on his head.
Jaden Smith.
Oh, well,
that was Will Smith's son.
Why was he doing that?
I don't know. That was terrible.
Don't love the jellyfish haircut that Miley Cyrus and Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I just heard that's what it's called. Jellyfish? I think it's hilarious. I don't really like it either, I have to say. Is that going to be a trend?
I will not. That's one I will not be following. I still can't get on the bangs trend.
But
Like I
you
would
want
love.
to.
I do want to. I do want to.
You can buy the clip-on bang. I would love to see that. You know what another really bad look was?
Yeah.
Kanye West's girlfriend. What?
I mean, I
The what? Like, seriously?
Come on.
I heard that they didn't even have like tickets or seats to the Grammys. I don't know if that's true.
I don't think he's allowed in those events because of what happened at the VMAs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that was, I watched the video of her coming on the red carpet
Mm-hmm.
with him, and I couldn't help but almost feel worried for her. Like her face, she looked so uncomfortable and so like scared. Like I was uncomfortable watching her like kind of like pivot and turn and try to get her footing. I was just like, what is happening? Like I think somebody should have shut that down way before they did. So it was interesting. That was my 2 worst. What do you think? Anything else on the Grammys?
I wasn't impressed that Beyonce won the country album.
Well, I don't think who was the other girl that was nominated for it as well?
Well, both Casey Musgrave
Musgrave.
and Lainey Wilson.
Yeah, one of them, I don't know which one was which, but I think one of them had a little bit of a face on. I don't think they were happy either.
Yeah, I think Casey Musgraves had a little bit of a side eye. She just might have some RBF, and
We're all that
RBF gets the best of us. But it just really didn't make sense. Like it was cute that Taylor Swift got to give her that award and everything, but
yeah,
it really just didn't make sense to me. I saw a meme that said I was going to share it to my story, but I didn't. And it goes, George Strait wins top hip hop artist 2025. I'm like, oh well, that might make sense.
Hey, you never know. Everybody's crossing over. Like, I think it's a thing also. I think it's like nobody wants to be stuck in their genre, right? They don't.
Well, that's the Taylor Swift effect. That's what happened to Taylor Swift. Like Taylor Swift, actually, I think she quoted Madonna when she was going through or maybe it was just a conversation that she had with Madonna or some words of wisdom. And Madonna was like, you cannot stay the same. Like you have to constantly be evolving.
That's good advice.
And she's doing it. She's doing it.
Yeah.
She's brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think, you know, I was hoping that Billie Eilish maybe would have gotten something. She's an artist.
Yeah.
She's really talented. And
talking about this earlier, we saw this thing that talked about all the different songwriters that were on each album.
Yeah, and who's writing the songs?
Right.
She writes them all, right?
Billie wrote all her songs.
Yeah.
I think it was Taylor Swift and just one other writer on her album. And I'm not too sure who else was on this photo that I saw, but Beyonce definitely had almost 50. Maybe
Different.
more, maybe even more than that.
Yeah, she had a lot of collaborators on this album.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we got coming up this week? Let's talk about that. It's a big week for us.
Gosh, yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too. Me too. It's gonna be so great.
So Super Bowl, by the time you all hear this, it's going to be done. Well, you'll know the winner.
That's right.
The winner of the games. And then we're going into what? Thursday is Galentine's Day.
I can't wait. We're gonna have so much fun.
I mean, this is kind of a new holiday, right? Like I think it's like what, 10 years old, maybe.
I have no idea.
It is not that old. Like I remember hearing about it maybe 6 years ago, maybe a little, maybe 7. Like it was never always a thing. Do you remember that when you were younger in 1989? We didn't have it in 1989. I remember. I know that for certain. But anyway, so Galentine's Day is we're Jaclyn, you and I are riding again together.
Yeah,
that's twice in 1 week. That's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be in Annapolis. I normally teach in Baltimore that night, but I'll be down here to ride with you in your class that day. And then Friday.
What's Friday?
It's Valentine's Day.
Oh. And Mike's riding with you?
Yep, that should be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a good time.
Yeah, he did it 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'll have to put the video up on Instagram.
I mean, I have to say it was really fun.
Our second episode, we're going to end it with a giveaway in honor of Valentine's Day and Galentine's Day.
Yeah.
So the giveaway is one of these COMFRT hoodies that Jen and I are wearing. If you're watching us, you can see us wearing these sweatshirts. We're just so excited about them. They're so cozy and comfy. And then the WONDERSKIN lip stain that we wore last week. Oh, and to answer, there was another question. How long does the lip stain really last? And I want to say it lasts for a solid 8 hours, depending on what you're eating and drinking.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. I think that's fair. I mean, it won't last more than a day. Like,
no,
if you're washing your face and all that stuff, no way.
Yeah. But if I'm like washing my face, I really need to scrub my lips to like get it off. Like it'll.
Yeah, like I put it on my hand, like just to see it, and it stayed there for a while.
To enter the giveaway, you need to follow Tribe Cycle on Instagram, Jen Tribe Cycle on Instagram, Jaclyn Witty on Instagram, and Spin Cycle Pod on Instagram.
All 4.
In addition to following all 4 of those Instagrams, you are going to, and I'm going to put all of these details in a post too, so you have it on paper. Give this podcast a 5-star review on Spotify, and then make a comment on this episode on Spotify.
Perfect. I love it.
Okay.
Well, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
We are glad you were here. All right. I hope you guys have a great week.
Yep.
Happy Valentine's Day. And we'll chat soon.
Yes, we will. Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap on this week's episode of The Spin Cycle. We'll be back next Monday with a brand new episode.
Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Follow the show on all social media at Spin Cycle Pod. Thank you guys again for tuning in.